Hey, this is Taylor calling for Andy.
Taylor, you got me.
Hey, how are you, man?
Great to hear from you again. I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Doing all right. A little tired, but good.
Get yourself some rest. Don't forget that.
It's a hard. We just got back from South America, and that was kind of a brutal travel schedule.
Oh, wow. Pretty much nonstop then?
Yeah, it was flag play pretty much every day. So
good Lord. Well, I appreciate
zonked, but the shows were fun.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking some time for me. We were fortunate enough to have you live and in person back in November before your show at the Seven Flags Event Center. And at that point, the new album, Who You Selling For, was one of the shiny new toys we all had our ears on.
It was, so thank you.
You know, maybe it's just me. Having come from an era where albums meant more than just a song here and a song there, I love the journey an artist can take you from song one of side A all the way through. And I think you've captured that spirit on Who You Selling For.
Oh, thank you. We aim to do so because I too appreciate the album. I think it really captures a moment in an artist's life, and you can't do that with just one song. I mean, sometimes you can, but I think it's more about the collection of work.
Yeah, and it's funny, like the more artists I talk to, and there's got to be a reason that this resurgence of popularity for vinyl has been the case, and I think a lot of bands are approaching not only their songwriting, but how they're recording, as you did.
We were really trying to capture the human element and, pick that one take that, for lack of a better word, has magic in it. And even if there's a mistake or something, the imperfections can make, I think it can make it perfect.
I would agree with that completely. You bet. Are you a fan of vinyl at all, Taylor?
Oh, of course. I grew up on vinyl. I have a huge vinyl collection. I think it sounds better, but that's just me.
No, I agree. Everything else gets so compressed and, just it comes out differently. So I'm with you on that. Considering your taste in music, again, I think we have a lot in common between the two of us, but despite the fact that life began for you during the age of CDs, I imagine you had to have at least had a few musical discoveries via that particular medium.
Well, I actually started on tape.
Wow.
My dad used to make me mixtapes, cassette tapes, so that's where I started. But CDs, I didn't actually have a large CD collection because my dad kind of had all the records already.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of stole from him. He did get me a Garbage record. He got me Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Those were some of my childhood CDs I bought.
Forgive me. What got me going on this conversation before you called, I was perusing the record store day releases that were recently just put out, my annual wish list of exclusives and rarities that I end up spending a paycheck on. It's another really interesting list in case you hadn't perused it yet, but I've got a few. Yeah, well, I mean, I know you're a Pink Floyd fan. I noticed that a previously unreleased, nearly 15-minute song called Interstellar Overdrive from 1966 is coming out in mono at 33 1/3.
Well, I'm getting that, and I'm stoked.
I'm just geeking out at this list. Forgive me, but that's it's got me going on the whole vinyl thing. But Taylor Momsen of the Pretty Reckless, my special guest. Was it my imagination, or did you do an interview a little while back where you named Soundgarden as a band you really wanted to share a stage with at some point?
I have been saying that in every interview since interviews existed.
Well, funny how well that worked out.
I know. I can't believe it. We are opening for Soundgarden.
A sizable number of dates with Chris Cornell and company upcoming, including a spot at Rockfest here in Council Bluffs May 12th. Pretty amazing.
Super excited for that as well. It's going to be a good tour.
You're a fan of a lot of those early to mid-'90s Seattle-based bands. We've had conversations about this, and, it's apparent on at least a couple of the tracks, including Oh My God, the most recent single, that, that came direct from the early 90s Seattle sound.
I mean, there's certainly an influence. I mean, how can they not be? I think it was the last, real resurgence of rock and roll. Is the last period that it really mattered, that rock and roll did. So how can it not be an influence, of course?
Yeah. I mean, it was only, about a month ago we surpassed what would have been Kurt Cobain's 50th birthday.
I know, it's crazy. Time flies.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it just makes people like me feel really old, I'll tell you that.
You're not old.
No, well, I know. At heart, anyway, Taylor, at heart. Have you ever met Chris Cornell? Ever gotten any FaceTime with him?
I have. We did do one show with Soundgarden a while back in Quebec City, which was awesome. So, a quick hello, but never a full tour.
I mean, it's just incredible to see the body of work. And this is a band that was around long before the whole, grunge explosion happened. I mean, Soundgarden became a band in the mid 80s. So
yeah, I mean, they were one of the innovators of it. And honestly, I mean, they're so musically profound, and I don't even know how they do what they do. So I'm excited because I'm going to get to have a free show every night.
Good seats too, I imagine.
I hope so.
I see the Pretty Reckless also been confirmed to this for this year's Lollapalooza. You want to talk about musical diversity? That show's got it all.
It certainly does. It'll be the second time we've played Lolla, so we're looking forward to going back and seeing how it's evolved.
Speaking of diversity, I find it fascinating. Now you're over 1 million Twitter followers, Taylor, a huge social media presence, and they're coming to you for a wide variety of reasons.
It certainly are, and it is interesting to see how our audience has grown and changed over the years. I mean, you go to shows now, and it really is a diverse crowd. You see from adults to little kids, and it's cool to see that our music is connecting to that range of people.
Absolutely. Now, all kinds of awesome things going on with you and with the band, too, but I do want to switch gears here a bit and get your take on the passing of Chuck Berry, if you don't mind.
Oh, I was devastated. I mean, it was the first show I ever saw was Chuck Berry down in the basement at Blueberry Hill in St. Louis. I'll never forget it. I mean, he invented rock and roll, But he did live a long life, so that's good. We didn't lose him too early,
At what age did you see him play?
I was like 5 or 6.
Wow.
I lived down the street from his place.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was super cool, and I'll never forget it. I apologize for the construction, by the way. My building's under construction.
No, I figured it was either that or you were having a meal and everybody was about, up milling around or something. No big deal.
Yeah, no, New York City. Oof.
What did you enjoy about South America? You mentioned you were just there.
It's the second time we've been there. We haven't been there in like 5 years. Just the crowds. I mean, the fans down there are so passionate and so crazy in the best way. So it's just, it's very uplifting. The travel was brutal, I will say that. Mm-hmm. But the shows make it all worth it.
They bring in massive crowds for these rock shows down there, don't they?
Oh, yeah. The festival was insane.
How many people is the most people you've ever played in front of?
I legitimately don't know the answer to that. A lot. Download was huge. The last time we played that, Reading and Leeds is huge. Isle of Wight was huge. The one gig we did with Soundgarden was like 90,000 people.
Oh my God!
Soundgarden. The festivals are the biggest, obviously the biggest crowds.
Well, I ask that because I realize that when you get in front of a large group, as you do night after night, you sort of just turn on the performance, and maybe you don't even realize how many eyes are on you at that point. But is there a moment where you do step back and turn that off and go, oh my God, like, wow.
There's always a moment during the first song where you look out and you see a sea of people and you go, wow, I can't believe this many people showed up to see us play. But I'm kind of blind, so I can't really see past the first row. So
instead of the seeing, it's more about hearing and feeling that.
Exactly. And you really you can feel the energy and the presence of the audience, and it's different everywhere and all equally good, but every country and every city has its own energy.
Absolutely. Well, we hope Council Bluffs brings it on May 12th at Rockfest. We're giving away some tickets this weekend, so looking forward to getting a bunch of our listeners out there who are, of course, all big fans of yours.
Well, maybe not, but please come and check us out.
Absolutely, we will. Give my best to the guys and to Allie as well. Say hello for me.
I will. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Taylor. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.